What's going on, guys? How we doing out there? Just trying to get up to speed here. I think I'm actually on Instagram today. That's a I finally figured out how to make it work, or figured out how to not keep screwing it up. Um, Kind of threw off my timing, so now I was trying to get to my YouTube because we talked about before the fact that the YouTube chat doesn't want to come through a multi-stream. So I have to display that, and let me mute the tab so it doesn't like feedback on us. There it goes. Yeah, right? I think we're all set. There we go. What's up, guys? How we doing? Hello, hello. Happy Monday, or not happy, but I guess it's Monday. It is what it is. April Fools. For those out there that like to do little April Fool's things, not doing any of that except for the fact that I'm done streaming. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay, gonna be one of those days. All right, so I left this stuff right where we pretty much left off on Friday. Excuse me. So let's jump in there. I noticed there's one quirk that I couldn't track down earlier. I was just looking recently. We saw this before, and I don't know why. So combine, it should say, yeah, I can't reach from here, gripping claw. That's not correct. It should say, we just created or something like that. So something's glitching, but I can't find that. So I'm going to just pass and not go down that rabbit hole for right now. I'll make a note of that later on. So what we will do is, now that we have that, we need to rearrange a little bit here. So if we swing over to the side, like so, there's the bucket. And right now, if you use the crowbar on it, it'll say, I can't quite get it. I can't get it loose. No. We want that for if you're using that. Yeah, so that's wrong. So that's what we need to fix. So the crowbar can't reach the bucket. The pole can mess with it, but it's not going to be able to actually pull it off of there. How did I decide that? Yeah, it can't do it without the claw, but the claw you get from the pile. Why am I seeing blackness here? There we go. From one of the debris piles inside the Jupiter 2. So you have the capacity of bypassing this one element right here. Is if you just use the pole on the bucket, it's not going to quite do it. But if you attach the claw to the pole before you even try anything else, then it will actually work right off the bat. And for the cord, it's just not going to reach. With the pole, it won't reach, period. With the claw, it'll actually it won't reach for either. You're going to be short because you have to push the crate over there. Spoiler. All right, so anyways, that's that. So let's we need to make some revisions here. So I guess first things first, let's right now the pole is succeeding, but if we try and come over here and try and use crowbar, I can't use it. Okay. Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you. So I'm gonna okay. So I'm gonna make little notes here. Let's see. Where's my to-do list? Thought I had it open earlier. All right. Let me move that over here. All right. So I'm going to add all these elements. So we want to be able to say, we'll put this afterwards. We're going to say, try to, let's see. Yeah. Let's see. So try to use the crowbar on the cord. Can't reach. And also, kind of the same thing. If you say, try to use the pull or gripping claw on the cord. Can't reach. Okay. And so let's see. Crowbar on bucket. Can't reach. And I may have to actually scale up this bit of geometry here to make that a thing. No, you know what? Actually, that might work. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Because if you see where he is and you see that crowbar, even with his arm extended, he's going to be just a little bit shy. So I think that's going to be okay. Crowbar on bucket, can't reach. Let's see. Pull on bucket. So yeah, and then this is what I have right now. What's my terminology I use? I say I can't get it loose. And then we'll just say use, because I already have that built in. I don't have to make a new one. So that's use. And then gripping claw on bucket is successful. All right, there we go. Now I got my roadmap laid out here. All right, so let's start with let's start with the gripping claw, the dreaded gripping claw. Wow, Jeff, what up, buddy? Look at this, crashing the party. Look at that. The only way I can get you to come around is let you play with my dog. Wait, aren't you supposed to be at work or something? Don't you actually have a day job? Unlike the rest of us slackers? Pretty much. Working hard, hardly working. One of those things. Or are you just telling me that you're here in Vegas and you're knocking on my door in 5 seconds? One of those things. How you been, buddy? Long time no speak, man. All right. You came to get bored, huh? Work? What is this work of which you speak? Yeah, I don't know if you want to go into details on a, public chat, but yeah, I know you were at someplace, but you still doing that, or is the nah or is the draining pool pond? We have a pool and a pond. Pond would be good for you. The pond in the Los Angeles VFX, is that shrinking enough to? Okay, there we go. Done. Yeah, I'm just keeping. Yeah, we'll see if how profitable that is. But yeah, I'm still working, just for delayed payment kind of thing. Make the polygons dance. Oh, I will take inside jokes for 200, Alex. That's awesome. Yeah, buddy, Jeff. I don't know. I know. Oh my God, and Ed. Wow, this is a veritable who's who. Ed, the amazingly talented voice actor, my go-to guy. Look at that. There's 2 blasts from the past. Okay, wait. You guys don't, you're not trying to tell me something here, are you? Is there a doctor's report that I haven't gotten and you guys are just trying to preemptively go, hey, it's been fun? Ed, great to hear from you, buddy. All right, so if you've seen anything from the initial demo that's been out there, this is actually continuation. So I'll just do a quick play here for anyone else that's around. Yeah, hopefully, Ed, I will have some stuff for you in the near future. We're getting closer to some characters that are not the original members of the Jupiter 2. So that means I will need original dialogue from, I don't know, somebody that does that kind of stuff. So if you know someone, you know, feel free to let me know. All right, so a lot of this stuff is still placeholder. I've mentioned this in the past when I've shown this, but since I'm doing it fresh for today, let me just give the explanation that there's a ton of things that are placeholder. These little debris piles, obviously very temp. Ooh, that looks painful, doesn't it? Yikes. I haven't figured out how to like make it not bend so much. I haven't figured out how to limit that. I'd rather just kind of push through the geometry versus like breaking his ankle, but hadn't figured that out. That's a fight for a later date. So for anyone that's new to this, the premise is cool. Very cool. Ed, hope you're doing well, man. You still staying busy, I hope? Since you're not of the VFX world, hopefully you're still, now that some of those strikes have resolved themselves, hopefully you're staying busy. Yeah, so just for anyone else that's tuning in and says, what is this? This is a point-and-click adventure game that is based on the 1960s TV series Lost in Space. Yes, I do have a license for it. I feel compelled to say that every time because I know that we'll always get asked. Anyways, yeah, like I said, the 60s version where you're going to play as Will Robinson, the robot, and Dr. Smith as you go on an adventure to save everybody. They need saving because Will Robinson was a naughty boy, sneaks out in the middle of the night, leaving the shield generator down, which you see the shield generator here, is now completely discombobulated. And by the time you get back to camp, to the Jupiter 2, you see that robot is completely out of commission. I love that refraction on the glass. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it's just... Jeff can speak to this. Remember the old days and, you know, just doing that in Lightwave and having it take, you know, an hour to render was just amazing. But, you know, now it can do it at 60 frames a second. That's just mind-blowing. That just means I'm old. But yeah, so now in this case, he's trying to pick up the pieces. Sweet. Okay, good. Glad to hear you're still getting some VO stuff out there. I know it's got to be more challenging. Yes, right. Well, that's probably just, you know, because Gabe set up those explosions that take, like, you know, 12 hours of frame to render. I remember those good old days. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So anyways, as you can see, there's all the animation for these cutscenes are missing. So right now, you just see it kind of cuts to a wide shot doing nothing. Oh, asteroids. Sorry, I said explosions. I meant asteroids. See, that's the problem with multitasking. I don't do it all that well. So yeah, so obviously you want to try and get in the Jupiter 2. You can see that if I try and get in there, I can't fit. It's too narrow. So we have to find some way in there. There's no power, so you can press the button. It's not going to do anything. I don't even have an animation for that. You just have to assume that it's not working. So if you go around, these are all the planters that Maureen, you know, mom is always growing stuff. And if you go and explore these guys, and actually I don't, yeah, no animation there yet. None of these guys actually have anything hidden underneath them yet, but that may come in time. But if we look in this debris pile, we find a crowbar. Hey, look at that. Just conveniently a crowbar left behind. And then here we have a drilling rig. We look at it. The access panel requires a special key. Yeah, which is right here. You know, see the access panel? In all that whiteness? Yeah. Can you say proxy model? Okay. So then with the crowbar, then you can get up here and actually get the door open wide enough that he can squeeze through, but not wide enough that if robot ever gets repaired, he's not going to be able to fit there. That's a plot point. And we sneak inside, and we see that this has been just completely demolished. So, there you go. Oops. And there's more stuff in here, and then this is where you'd find his claw. I believe it's in this one. Yep. So you got that. Cool looking Enviro, thanks. Well, I'll say partial thanks. I did the modeling just based off of tons of reference that came from all the fan base, because all those fans for decades has been doing 3D models, physical models, and painting it like crazy. So I had amazing amounts of reference to pull from. So hopefully I got it pretty close. That was the objective here. And yeah, you can see it's kind of cool. We're going for a mood lighting here. You can see sunlight kind of pouring in through the top and the windows, but there's no electricity. You see all the lights are basically off at the moment. If you come back over here to the elevator, it's going to be non-functioning at the moment. And then the passageway downstairs is blocked by a giant cylinder, which means placeholder, of course. But yeah, thanks. And yeah, I had some really super talented people do texturing. Texturing is always my Achilles heel, so I always hand that off to somebody that is exponentially more talented than I am. All right, so that's a quick run through. One of many numerous environments that will come throughout the game. All right, so let's go back to my to-do list. All right, now we're good. And so my first thing I want to do, let's go ahead and make the gripping claw on bucket successful. So what we need is, let's get into some coding. Let's see, controller, nope. Puzzle is all good. We finished the puzzle. I guess I could show that again real quick. Nah, that's all right. We covered it on Friday. It's just an old Mastermind style puzzle. Gameplay has a nice look to it. Ed, thank you, buddy. Thank you very kindly. Been working really hard on it. It's, we're trying to pitch this as like the next, season of Lost in Space. We'll even have like a movie mode. So if you just want the game to play itself and just sit back and eat your popcorn and watch the new season of Lost in Space, you will actually be able to do that. We're doing that specifically for fans of the show that absolutely have no interest whatsoever even trying out gaming. We don't want to alienate them because this is the reason we're making the game is, for those people. But yeah, really working hard to make it play nice. Yeah, even like if you walk through the grass, you can see the grass kind of bend as you walk through it. Little touches like that. So yeah, thanks, Ed. Appreciate the kind words. All right, so then what we want to do is go Aftermath. Scripts, and yeah, this is a challenge. I have a massive screen, but I'm squeezing it down to fit on here, so it's it's super narrow, but we make do. So it's not. Let's see. Is it? Yeah, it's use item. That's what we want. All right. All right. So then we're using, in this case, it's the gripping pole. And no, we actually want this to be. Okay, oh, I need to break this up, don't I? I need to make it so there's gripping pole and gripping pole unwired. Unconnected? I think that's what I was calling it. Yeah, and I'll have to make those icons later. I don't have that yet, but. So what we want then, let's go back to scriptable objects, Aftermath, crafting recipes, back over here. All right. So we have the pole and the claw, and right now it makes the gripping claw, which is not right. We want that to be a, I'll duplicate this. And I think what I'll do is call this 6. Yeah, because I want to make it kind of chronological. And then 5 will be gripping claw, unwired. So the idea is you put one of robot's spare claws, attach it to this gripping pole, but you don't wire it up yet because that kicks off a mini puzzle. And you'll find that when you try and actually use it. So let's come back to our, unwired. Oh, yeah, it did. It ordered it for me. Thank you. 3. Oh, wait. It's not seeing it. 5. Oops. I'll just drag it. That should work as well. There we go. Okay, now everyone's plugged in like we want, so let's go back into scriptable objects, crafting recipes. All right, we're no longer going to be connecting it to the gripping claw. We're going to be connecting it to, I don't know why I always like to push it off screen. Unity, you're so mean. Gripping claw unwired. There we go. So let's see. And then let's see. All right, I think we need to actually create the content for that. So let's go Aftermath inventory. Gripping claw unwired. Yeah, so we need to make new textual examples of that. So this is, see, making games is so easy. I don't know why everyone doesn't want to do it. And some of these I've actually called item instead of items, which is bad on my part, and it's something that I'm gonna have to address in the future at some point and clean up. But that's a great mentality, isn't it? Yeah, should we fix that? Is it smoking yet? No. Okay, then yeah, we can wait. Okay, so gripping claw. I think I call it gripping claw. Yes. Let me lock this so it doesn't go away. I love that feature, being able to lock the inspector. Scriptable objects, Aftermath, inventory. Yeah, gripping claw. I did call it that, so we call it gripping claw and unwired. Like so. Create key. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I saw a bunch of yellow. That means it's not set up, but that's because that's my buddy Rich, my programmer guy, has added a bunch of content. So yellow is normally a scary thing. That means you haven't done translations yet, which I've been doing. So at first I was like, uh-oh, something broke. And no, it did not. Okay. So then, let's see. So just for example, just calling it gripping claw. Like so. And then what we're doing here is doing a translate all, which is just Google Translate temporary. That is temporary. That is not permanent. We will actually do proper localization when the time is right. But it's nice just to have something at least as an initial placeholder, right? All right. So that is Aftermath items, and then Aftermath item description. We need to add that too. If I can click in the right spot. Stop. There it goes. Item singular. And now we call this gripping claw unwired, which is the new thing we're adding. All right, so now in this case, we want to describe I need to connect the wires before I can use it, which may be confusing. You know what? Actually, let's do it this way. I'm not sure if I connected the wires correctly. To foreshadow, when you try and actually use it, it just flat out doesn't work, and then you go into the mini puzzle. I'm not sure if I connected the wires correctly. I'm not sure if I connected them. Yeah, I think that's okay. Close enough. Okay, so we have both of those. So now we can say unwired. Oh, let me unlock. Now we can actually point this instead of to the gripping claw. Go to gripping claw. Oops. Interact. Oh, this interact. No. Item. and it's not there. Why is it not there? Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? Oh, because the items. Crap, that's biting me in the butt, isn't it? So yeah, so that's what I was just talking about, is the fact that item only has, well, it's off screen, but there's only 2 items there because there should be 0 items, because that should be plural. Gripping claw. There it is. Yeah. See, look at that. I just talked about how that's gonna like bite me, and it just did right there. I had a momentary panic of going, why is it not working? Because you don't understand singular versus plural. Okay. So now, Oleg. Hey, it actually came up in real time on on Streamlabs for a change. That's awesome. Looking forward to your game. Is the release date for the full version already known? Thanks for your hard work. You are super. Thank you, Oleg. That's very kind. Yeah, I'm happy to be a part of it. Like, I mean, I've said this a million times, but you know, I'm someone that grew up watching the show as well. You know, as a young, very young kid. So it's exciting to be a part of this project for sure. But to answer your question, I do not. We do not have a date. It's things are in a state of flux. We have some discussion stuff going on, so we'll see what comes from that. Excuse me, but you know, we of course do have the demo out. I assume, Oleg, that you've, you know, discovered the demo and given that a good play, but it's still gonna be a ways off. You know, it's things will either go one of 2 ways. We'll either be splitting the game into chapters, which means less content per chapter, which means that the game will come out a bit sooner, but still a ways off. You know, we're still working on the first half of the first chapter right now. But if something changes and we can expand the team, then we'll be working on the whole game at once, which will probably take a little bit longer, but will actually be the whole game. So, long story short, unfortunately, I do not have a definitive date. We're taking the old approach, like the old company id used to use, which is when it's done. You know, which is a nice way of saying I have no clue. You know, or the other quote I love so much from Hitchhiker's Guide, Douglas Adams. You know, he always talked about deadlines, and he goes, "I love deadlines. I especially like the sound they make as they go whooshing by." So that's kind of the approach we're taking. Thankfully, our licensed holders have been incredibly understanding. We've had tons of challenges with getting past games out. Also, there's this thing called COVID, which rocked our world, rocked everyone's world. But you know, the wheels are turning nicely now. So, you know, upward and onward. Stay calm and code on, and game dev on. All right, so that's plugged in, and I think I have scriptable objects, crafting recipes. I think that's now set up correctly. Right. So now, oh, but I don't have an icon for it yet. So I'm going to cheat just for the moment. Or I could create it. You know, it's probably not a bad idea because I do need this icon. What I'm talking about is right here. If we look at GUI images for Atlas, we have somewhere. Oh, icons, Aftermath. Oh, I do have one. I made one. Okay. Nice. Okay, this placeholder. Obviously, this is still placeholder kind of stuff, but oops. I hit the wrong button there. I started firing up my music. You can't do that. Let's see. Let's just make sure that we got the naming correct then, in that case. We called it Unwired, right? So we're going to have to, like, remove and update. Yeah. So gripping claw. Oh, we didn't add it before, so that's fine. I think that's called it. believe that's what I called it. Let's check that out. Unwired. Gripping claw, unwired. And it's called... That is correct. Good. Okay. I think we just did that correctly. So now, if we test this, if we come in here and we combine this item and this item, it should say gripping claw unwired. And I'm still confused why it's saying I can't reach it from here. That's a bug that we will have to we'll have to figure out. I don't know if it's doing that for everything. Let's see. Do I have anything else? No, I don't think I have anything else to combine. Let's see. Scriptable objects. Crafting. No, I don't. Okay. Just out of curiosity, let me see if this is a bug on my end for the scene or if it's something that got introduced. So the simplest way to do that is, is not to start the scene. I'm clicking without thinking. Let's go back, episode 1. Back to the cave. This is the cave that's available in the demo currently. But what we want to do is just have this little manually run cutscene so we can, let's see if we got something. Rock, and we've got the hammer. That should be enough. Alright, and then we'll start this up. Oop, we got a bug there somewhere. Task manager, he's not happy about something. Okay, we're not going to worry about that right now. Alright. So now, if we combine that and that. Oh, okay. Yeah, so there is something definitely wrong here. I can't reach from here. So it should say you created a, but instead it's doing that, which kind of says to me it's, oh shoot, it might be something in our spreadsheet. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it this way. Ah. Nope, that's not going to happen. Expand this upwards. Let's see if I can find it this way. I'm probably not. Yeah, created, the term gets used a lot. So here we go, down here, scripts. All right, so here is, I think this is actually where it's happening. Inventory group, you created thing, success message. So that's what we need to find is where the success message. Player crafted an item success message. Wow, I actually found that pretty quickly. So let's check it out. Let's see where the mistake is. That's the scary thing about using localization in a spreadsheet is the fact that sometimes it's all one giant list, even though it's sort of like all these different categories, and it's real easy for things to get out of sync, unfortunately. We've been very lucky for the most part, but it can happen. And that may have been what happened here. So let's see what I say that was under. Okay, so we'll say scriptable objects, general. Let's say player crafted. Try it that way. Oh, wow, it doesn't exist. Okay, that might explain why. Because it is not a term. General. Scriptable objects. We'll try, let's go into just one like this, just so we can jump into database here. All right. crafted. Wait, maybe I can do it this way. Script terms general. That's probably just gonna bring me here. Yeah. So we have general, but I don't see anything in there. So that might be what the problem is. So let me do this. Let me come back out. Let me go to scriptal objects. Yeah, just nothing. Okay, so now the next question is if we come in here and we open up the actual spreadsheet. Give me one sec to see if I can find this under general. Can't combine. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Player crafted a successful message, says I can't reach it from here, which is wrong. That's what I was talking about. That's an example of stuff getting out of sync. So now I have to figure out how far back that kind of went wonky. Give me one sec. I just need to search for an older spreadsheet. What I've been doing is anytime we update, I've been a good boy and copied, backed it up. So in case something goes wrong like this, hopefully I have some way of easily repairing it. So I'm just loading older versions right now. Just bear with me. Can't reach from here. Wow, that's a ways back. Oh no, that's just a couple days ago. Hold on, let me go further back. I think it's been there for forever. It's March, open. I'm gonna go just way far back. Here we go to February. General. There it is. All right. So I'm gonna just do a comparison contrast, make sure that that's the only one that has a mistake in it. Yeah, there's a couple that look like they're wrong. So I have no idea why that happens, but it's relatively easy to figure it out. Let's see. Just double checking myself. Oh, you know what? I should have exported first. Let me do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come into my spreadsheets. Export merge, which is happening right now. Uh-oh. Okay, that's new. It broke everything. Well, looks like I just found a way to make Unity unhappy. The Atlas? What? What was that all about? Hey, Matthias. Hello, hello. Welcome back. I think I just broke something tremendously. Oh, I hit Scene Template. How did I hit Scene Template? I didn't even come close to clicking on that. I just clicked on Inspector. I wish I could cancel that, but it's not going to let me come close. How's it going? You're just in time to watch me completely destroy the project. You guys are my witness. I got like video evidence to show that, you know, I wasn't doing anything that crazy, and I don't even know what scene template does in Unity. I hadn't used that. I guess it just makes a template of the current scene you're working on. Okay, so I think we're fine. I think it's just creating that, and then it's gonna stop. Oh, ¿no inglés? Lo siento. Mi español es muy malo. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Say that's. Whoa, crap. Okay, what the heck? When you see that color, that means all your stuff has lost its textures. Oh, crap. Okay. Wow. That's bad. All right, I might have to do some reinstall the project kind of stuff. Oh, mercy. I don't even know what I did. It was like, because it was tied up in export, which it never did, by the way. It never even bothered to export it. So I select on export the spreadsheet, and then it just went nuts. All right. It is Game Ducks. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Yes, this is no, I'm hablo solamente inglés. I learned some Spanish in school, escuela, but I no recuerdo mucho. Sorry. My Spanish is muy malo. Sorry. But yes, Game Ducks, to answer your question, yes, we have a license for the 1960s version of the TV series Lost in Space, and that's the game we're making off of that. Unfortunately, I might be in dire straits here. I might have to do a full restore of my project here. So this might become a very, if all the textures are suddenly broken, I have no freaking clue what I did. Thankfully, we're using a repository so I can restore everything. It's just, that's going to be a painful, slow process, especially while I'm trying to stream and download. Nothing like doing live broadcast, right? All right. Try and fix one thing and break a bunch of other things. Oh, where's it gonna come up? Right in the middle, probably. Yep, right in the middle. All right. So I'm trying to reload the scene, but I'm not optimistic that it's going to be behaving itself, because it's now like in the process of rebuilding everything as it loads, which is never a good sign. Well, I guess I always go back and sort of watch the video and try and get a better understanding of what happened, but wow, that was brutal. So, note to self for future reference, when I click on export the spreadsheet for all of our dialogue, yeah, don't touch anything. Let it sit there. Otherwise, you might randomly hit something that is the destroy your project button. All right. Check my Git here. Okay. Arg. All right, and I definitely don't want to put right now just because everything is totally smashed. Yeah. All right. You guys want to do an over-under? on if the scene will load correctly or if it's going to come up with those pretty pink textures everywhere. Let's see. And yeah. Yeah, it absolutely broke everything. Wow. That's like, it's almost like I did some weird reset on all the stuff you've done. No render or UI graphics found? Yeah. Yeah, we've just absolutely broken the crap out of everything. Do I still have my, yeah, all the assets are there. All right. Hmm. Yeah, at this point, I literally have no idea what to do aside from just kill all the stuff that I had worked on and sacrifice that and just restore because I have no idea what broke, but it definitely broke like the crap out of everything. So I'm gonna have to do restore, which means that we're gonna just have to sit here and chat for a few minutes, I guess, because I don't think I have a working project right now. All right. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and just as a pathetic attempt at desperation, I will back up my current version, even though it's completely foobarred. You weren't there to save me, man. You were supposed to protect me from myself. Oh yeah, I have no idea how I blew it up, but that seriously, I've been using what Unity for what were we like 13? Oh geez, over 13 years now, and I've never blown a project up like that before. That was a first on a live stream. Isn't that really awesome? All right, so let me go in here. Let me just start doing this crap. So I've completely broken this. Excuse me. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say I'm going to rename the project as backup broken. Right? And then let me just go over here. Yeah, I know you hate life now. All right. So making a new folder. Bear with me. I just got to do this, and then I'll find out something to put on the blank screen there. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Just, yeah, rewind it, and if you find out what I did, let me know. I mean, it's, yeah. It's a mystery to me at the moment. Let me go new folder. Lost in space, and now if I come back up here, it's clone again. Yep. All right, so I think I'm restoring it. Let me just double check. Oh man, one of those days. It's a Monday. It is definitely a full-on Monday, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So, yep, it's okay. So it's going to gradually come back, but it's going to be a massive download. I mean, there's a ton of stuff happening in there. So, I'll minimize that. I'll look at this and hey, look, I got a blank screen. Okay. So, how about them bears? Anyone know any good jokes? There's Zhang Slong. Welcome. Hey. You're just in time to watch me in pain and agony. Welcome. Um yeah, I somehow just blew up my project, so I'm having to do a full restore. But in the meantime, I guess what I could do is at least kind of show what's going on for anyone that doesn't know. Um, there you go. If you're curious, the website is lostinspace.game.com. Um, we have a license to recreate the 1960s TV series Lost in Space, which is what I was trying to do before I broke the crap out of everything. Here's some nice screenshots. If you're interested, you can actually try the game out. It's available, the free demo is available on Steam or itch. Choose whichever you like. Um, yeah, it's a point-and-click adventure game, which obviously is always a challenge to succeed in this day and age, just because, everyone wants the next Fortnite, and we're not doing that. Primarily just because the show was from the 60s, and fans of the show are going to be, like myself, up there in age. And what I quickly realized after we managed to secure the license was the fact that what fans of the show really wanted was a fourth season. And the best way to do a game that has more of a season feel is a point-and-click adventure game, which is basically like an interactive movie, a movie with puzzles. That's the way I describe point-and-click adventure games, with conversations and that kind of stuff, and hopefully a full storyline. So that is the project that I was working on up until, what was it, about 20 minutes ago? Before I hit some mystery button, and it just demolished my project. Yeah, thank God for backups. So yeah, I think I did lose a little bit of work. But I mean, I backed up my project so I can always load it up and find the little pieces. But man, that's frustrating. That's really it's weird because it blew up Unity so bad that it was talking about how you have no video card or something like that. Wait, what? How is that even a thing? So, anyways, you guys have any favorite video games? Any favorite movies? Unfortunately, we got a little time while we're doing a multi-gig restore of my entire project. All right. Or in the meantime, we could create a betting pool. What do you want to put the odds that I'm able to fully restore the project and it coming up and behaving? What are the odds? So-so? Moderate? I don't know. Oh, well. Well, I mean, at least I'm not, at least I didn't do that in the middle of being on the live stream. Oh, wait. No, I did. Not sure what else. Anyone got any questions? Now's the time to ask, aside from, oh, sorry, I missed that too. I really like the series. Too bad the third season, Lost in Space 2018, was the last. Excuse me. Yeah, it's, here's the thing. I jumped all over it. I'm a big sci-fi fan and of the show itself. So, Game Ducks, I'm not sure about you, but for me, I thought season 1 was a little wrong. I thought it spent too much time just kind of like going knee deep into the whole family soap opera. The more of the drama and less of what made Lost in Space great, I thought. Season 2, I think, did a much better job of sort of righting the ship, and it got a little more on the storytelling and less on the deep, like, kind of soap opera-ish kind of thing. I think 2 did a better job, but I thought 3 really did it nice. I thought 3 did a nice job of nailing the landing. And yeah, I know it was disappointing that both the original and the remake only had 3 seasons. The original was canceled. They were ready to keep doing more, but they unfortunately only got 3. But the remake, the recent remake, was, I think they always intended it to be a 3-season arc. I think part of it is also what a lot of people don't understand is Netflix has a structure. I assume not all, but a lot of the streaming services have this kind of structure where the contracts are based on like a 3-season deal. Excuse me. Jeff, if you're still around, you could probably speak on this a lot better than I can. But I think a lot of the contracts are geared towards 3 seasons. And what happens is, if the show succeeds with the 3 seasons, then the contracts sort of get renegotiated, and the prices get a lot more expensive. So you have to have a show that is just a massive breakout hit, something like Stranger Things, Game of Thrones, one of these things that just the viewership is insane, that justifies them to pay all of the new costs and the new rates that they have to pay for all the different people and the production. So I think that's why a lot of shows don't make it past 3 seasons. Sort of. Excuse me. See, the voice of authority here. There's a pilot contract, and then the first season contract, and the third season contract. Then things get interesting. Okay, so there you go. So I was kind of right. I guess it's not like it's not like they do a 3 season deal right from the beginning, but there is sort of like a template for those first 3 seasons that kind of drives what's going to happen. But yeah, like you said, when, got it. Cool. But yeah, when season 4 kicks in, yeah, all bets are off, which is a shame because there's a lot of shows that I've enjoyed and even got to be a part of. I mean, Jeff remembers this. I got to work on a show on Netflix called Santa Clarita Diet, which was just a wacky premise. It was when the actors get to direct episodes. That's when the 4th season kicks in. That's when and a lot of the actors suddenly become executive or associate producers. It's like, how do we throw in more money without raising all the actors' rates? But yeah, I had the good fortune of actually working on Santa Clarita Diet, the 3rd season, which for me was awesome because I was a fan of the first 2 seasons, and that doesn't happen often for me, where I get to do work on a show that I was already a fan of. But and then a rare thing happened after it was done. My supervisor, I finished and came back home. And my supervisor contacted me, and he said that Netflix specifically reached out to him and just said how happy they were with the character I worked on. Was a thing called Mr. Ball Legs, which is basically like a twisted piece of a prune that had legs. That was like a spider with these eyes and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Netflix was really happy with it, and I was like thrilled and proud. And literally like a week later, they announced that, yeah, we're done. There's no season 4. So that was disappointing, but that's the whole thing, is that finding a show that is a major breakout hit, like Stranger Things. I'm sure Stranger Things, the season 1, I don't know for a fact, but I'm guessing that it was really inexpensive by most standards. Excuse me, because if you look at the people, and the reason I'm just rambling on about television and film stuff is because, in case someone just dropped in, I blew up my project and I'm having to restore it. So I'm just chatting on movie stuff because why not? But yeah, season 1 of Stranger Things, you had only a couple of recognizable faces, and Winona Ryder was, not exactly, marquee name at the time, and so, it was, and you had a lot of kids that are now famous now, right? Like Miss Bobby Brown, Millie Bobby Brown, that were complete unheard ofs at the time, But that's the kind of stuff that Netflix and those streaming ones dream of, is a super cheap show that just absolutely explodes. But anyways, I guess that was the whole long-winded story of talking to why the Lost in Space reboot on Netflix was kind of always going to be limited to 3 seasons, unless it became a massive breakout hit, which, I hate to say it, sci-fi just isn't the mega hit that some of the other genres are. The 3 Body Problem, right? That's one that has some really good storytelling. It's created by the people that did Game of Thrones. And it's a super famous series of novels, so you think it's going to be a big hit, but it already dropped in the top 10 list. It's already kind of fallen down. So I think that's kind of, a sign that making sci-fi in this day and age is definitely a challenge. But anyways, I don't know what else kind of still in limbo. Multi-gig restore is progressing nicely, but still just progressing. Bets are still available if you want to bet on whether or not my restore is actually going to work or if it's going to crash and burn. But now the question is just, how much of this can I just ramble on about? Okay, 9.3 of 9.5 gig restored. I didn't check. Is actually this... Yeah, it's still straight. Well, this is a nice demonstration that my broadband is truly broadband, that I'm able to pull a giant ton of data and still keep a stream flowing. All right. So now I got to, if this does work, and that's a big if I'm able to bring this project back to life, then I have to sort of sit down and do the math of when did I last do the save? When did I do the last put and figure out how much content I actually lost and need to restore? Hopefully not too much. Mostly probably going to be scripts, which I backed up anyways. But anyway. Nope. Okay, so it went from 9. Now it's up to a 10 gig. So, how about them Bears? Jeez. Jeff, say something interesting if you're there. Entertain us. Come on, man. I'm running out of content. That's... Yeah. Being healthy-ish. No, that's right. I still drink all that stuff. I trade off. But that was very observant of you. Thank you. Anyway, it's still 7-Up. It's still soft drink. It's just without the caffeine. Yeah, I'm trying to split the difference. So, since we have time, Jeff, I think now's the time to go into details. What do you think, Muddy? Come on, don't you want to spill the beans? Have you seen Silo? That's a good question. I watched... I had access to, I guess, Apple. I had wait, Silo's on Netflix? Yeah? I thought Silo was Apple. You sure about that? Because I had Apple, and I had, yeah. Yeah. Not well, it is only 3 in the afternoon. But yeah, it's I had a 3-month Apple subscription, and it was when Silo was just coming on. Vampire Hours. Oh, I remember those. I do not envy you, buddy. So I only got access to the first couple episodes. I liked it. I might have had it a little too hyped to get that crazy. I mean, put it this way, I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it enough to continue the Apple subscription. I mean, there's enough content on Apple. I think a lot of people do this nowadays. Tell me if you guys do this. I think what I do is just sort of the bulk wait. You just wait for a bunch of the shows you want to see to fully do all their seasons, and then you just get a subscription, binge all the shows that you actually cared about, finish them, kind of go, there's nothing else good, and kill it until more shows come back around. I heard nothing about it. Found it by random. Enjoyed it a lot. I think that probably helped then. I think that you didn't have a preconceived notion beforehand of what it was going to be about. That you don't have an expectation, I guess. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely return to it once I get another Apple subscription going. But at this point, if you're anything like me, I mean, I have so many choices now. I mean, I did the math on this. I mean, a lot of the services I'll get on their Christmas discount or something like that. So yeah, I have Paramount, which I got just because I had to try and get my own frames, my own video work from the Picard show. But and my subscription came due, and I was gonna cancel it. It was due the next day, and they were like, "Oh God, please don't go away. We'll cut your rate by half." It was like $30 for a year. Okay, fine. So I had Paramount for $30. Peacock I got for $20 for the year. Hulu I got for $12 a year. So I have all these streaming services, not because I'm that dedicated to them, but mainly just because they were affordable. Graham Yost, strangely enough, created a TV show about a sheriff in a small town, except this small town is a post-apocalyptic staircase. Oh, is that the way you describe Silo? That's interesting. All right, so my restore finished after all that banter. All right, I'm clicking the scene project. I'm not optimistic. I've never done a full restore off of my repository, so I don't know if this is going to crash and burn. We'll see. The comparison. Yeah, Justified absolutely was crazy about it. Strangely enough, the way I came into Justified was this is way long ago, so far back. This is back when Best Buy used to sell DVDs. And I was just walking around, and I saw season 1 of Justified, which had just finished, and it was like the DVD set. They didn't have Blu-ray, just the DVD set, but it was like super cheap. It was like under $20, and I'd heard good things, but I think I was mostly interested in it because of the Elmore Leonard name, baked into it. So yeah, I grabbed it. And oh man, I just loved it. Just the beginning, just the way Justified starts off. And it probably went a season too long. It may have been a bit better had it not been as long, but I thought it finished really strong. I don't think I'd say the same for the comeback series. It was good, but not nearly as sharp as the original Justified was, in my opinion. But anyways. But yeah, I get the comparison between, I don't know if I quite, because I don't think he was quite the trigger happy, sheriff in Silo that, the Marshal was in Justified. And Better Call Saul. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. Of all the characters that you could have spun off. Unfortunately for me, I know I'm in the minority on this, but Saul is not, not a single gun in Silo. There you go. So there is a slight difference. But no, there's just the great outdoors that they can threaten you with. But yeah, I was not a big fan of the Saul character from the beginning. So, I watched some of Better Call Saul, but I did it mainly just for the secondary characters, which I was more compelled by than Saul himself. I always thought that he was over the top. I thought his character was sort of out of range for everyone else, which is saying a lot because you have Michael McKean in there. Oh no, sorry, he was in Better Call Saul. No, actually, but yeah, I just thought that he was. I mean, I know he comes from a comedy background, and I kind of felt like he didn't rein in that comedic, bigger than life kind of delivery. But in the minority, like I said, I know a ton of people that absolutely love the crap out of Better Call Saul. I like the setup. I like the premise. I like how they, sort of backtrack, to a different day, and while juxtaposing it between where he is post Breaking Bad days. Which, of course, Breaking Bad is one of the all-time great finishes for any show ever. Yeah, so I stalled long enough to cover the restore, but now I'm having to stall because it's rebuilding everything. All right, bets are still available whether or not this is actually going to work or not. Don't know. Maybe now's a good time to just fill my drink, think of something else to say, and sneak out for a moment and come right back. In the meantime, I think I'll do that. In the meantime, obviously you can amuse yourself by playing catch with my dog. All you have to do in the chat is type in !toss disc, all lowercase, and it will throw the disc and she will chase it and get it for you. In the meantime, I will pop these guys up so in case someone's curious, they will know that I will be right back. Maybe. There they are. All right. Hang tight, guys. I'll be back in just a brief moment. Hopefully, we'll be closer to this scene reloading then. So, hang tight. Be back in a flash. All right. Refilled the glass. And as you can see, it's still loading. Jeez. All right. I turn these off again. Okay. So for anyone that's... Wow, is that a freeze? Okay. I am doing a lot right now. My computer is being tasked like crazy. So we may get some little skips in here. So for anyone that just came around wondering why I have a black screen, yeah, I have to go back and look, figure out what happened, but I was using my localization tool. I was exporting the spreadsheet, and then I clicked on the inspector panel, and then all hell broke loose. I have no idea. It looked like it was creating like a scene template or something, which I don't even know how I even selected that, because that's not where I was. That's under project settings. Anyways, it just broke the crap out of everything. It was even claiming in Unity, saying that there's no 3D card or something like that. So apparently there is a demolish your project completely button, and I magically pressed it. So there you go. So I've restored it, an older version. Now I'm just waiting for it. The restore happened. Now I'm just waiting for it to actually load. So I have a giant multi-gig project that is now apparently rebuilding one pixel at a time. Excuse me. All right. What else could I talk about? Yeah, we're definitely... I see that. I see some glitching in there, so if you see me pausing. That's just because of this. I'm curious. Not that I'm not breaking enough already, but let's look at Task Manager and let's just see how slammed we are. Yeah, RAM at 50, CPU, not that bad. 46, GPU 35. I thought it'd actually be pegging. I thought it'd be like 100%, that kind of stuff. So, not taxing the system quite as much as I thought it might. All right, in the meantime, how about this? So if, it probably won't do it now, but if I go into IMDb, see if it still comes up. Nope, they've changed it. So yesterday, this is under the small world category. So yesterday and the day before, they were advertising Unfrosted. Hey! Oh, Jeff. Thank you for the follow, buddy. Thanks for that. So yesterday, they had the trailer up for the new upcoming movie, Unfrosted, the Jerry Seinfeld movie, which is one of the last things I worked on over a year ago when I was still doing VFX. And what's funny is, so I have a connection to that, and then today they replace it with season 2 of Interview the Vampire, and actually I worked on season 1, which doesn't seem that long ago, but that's just because time goes by so fast. But anyways, that was a previous lifetime, which my buddy Jeff is still doing, I think. See if I can find him. Listen, embarrassing. Is it that way? Did I spell it wrong? There he is. You want to be impressed? This is my buddy here. Look at this. Let's call him out. Look at this. He has 2 upcoming. Wait, Animal Armageddon from 2009. Yeah, that's going to be upcoming for a long time. Actually, I found that, Jeff, you'll like this. I found the DVD. I bought a DVD of, it's not like all the episodes. It's just like some random couple of them. But just for, for the fun of it, I actually grabbed it. Sadly. Yeah, that was one of those, you've seen those pictures they do where they say, what they think I do, what I think I do, and what I actually do. That was a project, right, Jeff? This is a project. It was like what we're going to do and what we ended up doing were 2 dramatically different things. It was going to be high profile, and then a couple of weeks before we started, it became not so high profile. It became very low profile. But yeah, Jeff came in there. You got to be a part of that. Joe Lawson. Yeah, Joe Lawson came in there, and he was saving the day. Honestly, it was him, because I was sort of getting really pessimistic about the whole project. I was handling the before render side. I was handling the model stuff and the animation, primarily animation, but I kind of was anything that was before render, I was sort of trying to steer. And then Joe kind of took over. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, client expectations versus client budget. That's a true reality, right? That was Animal Planet for you. We had meetings, we had multiple meetings before we started making the stuff, and it's like, yeah, this is what we want, and then, yeah, no. Well, look at that, it still has a 7.3 rating. I never looked at that before. Joe did. Joe saved us all. So Joe Lawson is funny because we were kind of struggling how to get stuff lined up, but Joe took it upon himself to take each script and take it home on his own time, because he was just so dedicated, and he boarded out. He created storyboards for virtually the whole thing, and that allowed production to go a lot faster because we had more of our marching orders, and we could pull it off. And a lot of tricks, a lot of corner cutting, but we pulled it off ultimately. But I think the most interesting thing about that was we were making this TV show, but the location was really weird. We were actually right there on Venice Boulevard. See if I can find that. Move this over here. Go to maps. because you think of like traditionally, you think of like any kind of visual effects or people working on computers, you think of them as being like in somewhere in like some kind of suburb or office park and that kind of stuff. But this was quite the opposite. The man running the show was kind of creative, and he got this location. Let's see if I could find Venice Boulevard. Let's see if I can go down to Street View. Where's my icon? There he is. Bear with me 1 second. Let me get this going. And I think we're like right here, aren't we? Oops, wrong side. Yes! Oh, they got some crap in the way, but I think I could pass it. There we go. Yes! So, yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is where we were working. Yeah. And we had like an underground parking lot. And it's funny because we had an open Wi-Fi with no password. And Jason, the man running the show, he did this really cool idea. What he did was he air gapped it. The Wi-Fi didn't connect to the main network, but the Wi-Fi was open. And then the network was separate, and you didn't actually have access to that on your own machines, but it kept all the stuff intact, which is a smart move. But what's funny is that there was a gentleman that was living down in the garage who had a laptop, and there was a power outlet, and he would plug in, and he would just use our Wi-Fi. But so yeah, and you see, it's totally nondescript. There's no signs or anything. Even back when we were there, there's no signs. But we'd have all these people that would come like and knock on the door. It was so funny because they would come and they would like walk in. They kind of go, "Yeah, I'm looking for the beach," and you'd have to explain to them, "Yeah, if we turn over here, it's right there." I mean, how do you do that? How do you get to this far, wherever you're coming from, right? Wherever you're walking from. You came from way back in Santa Monica. I don't know where you came from. You walked all the way. You're literally, you have sand hitting you in the face at this point. You got here, but you're still going, I don't know where I'm going. And you knock on a door, randomly walk into some place and kind of go, where's the beach? Just here. It's literally right there. There's your beach. All right. So yes, I'm still jabbering because as you can see right here, jeez, we're halfway to the point of reloading the project. I think by the time this thing loads, I'm going to be just in time for me to say, hey, it's been fun. So this is going to be the most boring game dev or non-game dev stream I've done in several years. All right, this is kind of like going back to the old ones where Lucchini would jump on here and get me distracted and just talk about TV shows all day. All right. But yeah, that was a strange experience. It was really kind of an awesome thing, though. I think it was a lot of fun just because, we would, me and one of the other guys would just go and at lunchtime or after work, we'd just go down and run on the boardwalk of Venice Beach, which is amazing. And it was great because he was at least 10, 15 years my junior. So trying to keep up with him was always a challenge, but my pride was never going to let me live that down. We'd always sprint the end, and, he didn't beat me, by the way. I would let him win because I wanted him to feel good about himself. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Colorful neighborhoods, interesting coworkers, somehow we got work done. That is very true. That is very true. Some of us would sit there behind the desk and sleep for large parts of the day, unnamed. Yeah. It was an interesting experience. It was, I'm glad it happened, but at the time it was exceptionally stressful. And that was, let me think, that was literally the last time that I served as an lead animator. I just, it was such a dismal experience for me. That is not my thing. I know, Jeff, I know you were, climbing the ladder nicely, but for me, I just prefer to be a cog in the machine, man. I always prefer just to do some animation work, let everyone else figure out all the stress, and just, be done with it. You know, that was just, not my thing. Although, ironically, here I am creating a video game with multiple people helping out, so I ended up kind of falling back into it. More so this time, just because this is my 8th game that I've in the process of developing. I'll come back here. Come back to Scary Robot. Yeah, so here's a rundown of the previous games, which unfortunately the first batch, the first 6 games, were all mobile games, which unfortunately for the most part are not available anymore. Oh, that was your first deep dive into super pricing? Okay, that's a talk about jumping in the deep end of the pool, right? So yeah, unfortunately, most of these games are no longer available, primarily because it's kind of a pain in the butt explanation, but the simple story is the fact that both iOS and Android are constantly updating the requirements on your apps. And most of these apps were written with so Unity is now like Unity 20, 23, 24. These games were written with Unity 5.6. They're so old that they didn't even have the years attached to them. They were just like numerical iterations. And Unity has changed so much over the years. Just to begin with, they've actually changed the programming language. These games were written in what's called UnityScript, which was like a derivative of Lua. That's gone. All Unity games now, starting with Valley Village, required writing in C#. And the problem with that means so when iOS and Android says that we need you to just do some simple updates to your game, it's not a simple update. Because I literally the entire game will have to be rewritten. Every line of code would have to be adapted from UnityScript, which is no longer supported, into C# for games that, quite honestly, are just no longer really profitable anymore. It's just been, too long. Not to mention also the fact that you also have plugins that, I'm a big fan of plugins that make life easier. Anything that adds a simple drag and drop that covers work for me, I love using that, right? So, all those plugins I would have to yank out, find a replacement, plug in the new plugin, and then reconnect all the code, adjusting it as I'm rewriting all the other code. So long story short is the fact that that's why, unfortunately, a lot of people ask specifically about Save the Titanic, which was my mini mega hit, got over 6 million downloads, and to this day I still get people going, why can't I get it? Why did you pull it? Why did you delete it? It's like, I didn't. It was not my choice, trust me. But anyways, the reason I was discussing that is because pretty much all the way through here, these were all sort of like solo developer. I mean, keeping in mind that, Ed, who was here earlier, has been a fantastic. Poke Bob was my first game, and Ed was a part of that. He did the voice of Bob, and was just absolutely fantastic. He just brought this game to life, and it really motivated me to create some fantastic animation to match his delivery. So, and also Daniel Thomas was the first time I worked with him, and this goes back to 2010, 2008, when we first worked on this, and then I released it in 2010. So yeah, a very talented artist named Daniel Thomas, who I actually reached out to him recently, and he was like, yeah, thanks, James. But I reached out to Daniel recently to talk about maybe coming back and doing some more stuff. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I could do some stuff in July. I mean, he is insanely busy, but amazingly talented. Why not? This art. I mean, look at this dude. I mean, this dude. If I had the budget and if I could wrangle him away from all the other stuff he works on all the time, I would absolutely just have this guy doing everything. He's just such an amazing talent. But anyways, yeah, I had the good fortune to have him work on my first game with me, and he's done some art from some of the other games as well. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I've done all these games by myself. That's not true at all. You know, I've had some people help. You know, Ed's done voices for several of these games, and including most recently for the previous game, Triple Troubles, where he did some voice VO work for some of the cutscene characters. But Lost in Space is the first time that I've really sort of expanded the team. And that was one of the French benefits of having 2 years of VFX work in Los Angeles while living cheaply in Las Vegas. And being a pack rat and being a frugal individual, I saved a ton of the money, which has now been heavily invested in the game development. So that's an interesting shift for me, is the fact that, you know, I was always about I can just do all this stuff myself, and now I'm sort of accepting the fact that, no, if I really want to get this done in the proper way, I need to expand. So I have a buddy of mine that has taken over the programming responsibilities, who's been doing a great job. I found a fantastic company called Massive Brush that's been creating some fantastic art, and we're totally frozen. Look at that. Sorry about that. This is killing me right there, this Project Restore. So sorry if I glitch out. That is why. But maybe that's a good sign. Maybe that means we're getting closer. So if you see it glitching, that is not your fault. That's my fault, because I'm restoring my project, which I broke somehow. What is that, like 40 minutes ago? Was that almost an hour ago? No, it wasn't that long ago. God, I've been talking for a straight hour, have I? I hope not. Yeah, look at that frame rate. Okay, so anyways, the whole reason I was bringing this up is the fact that it's interesting for me, the fact that I've had a quarter-century career where I've done everything in my power just to be a cog in the machine of just doing animation and nothing else. And on the game world, I'm kind of bringing it back full circle, where I'm sort of going into more of a managerial position and trying to dole out the work, you know. And that's been a challenge for me. It's hard for me to let go. But it's good, you know, because then I have people that are much better at the tasks than I am doing that stuff. And, you know, that ultimately makes for a better project. So, anyways, Jeff, you got any good VFX thoughts to add? I'm curious. Okay, you don't have to talk your own specific kind of thing, but I am curious about what the VFX world is like now in LA. Jeff, if you're still around. And I'm just curious because I know make it blowed up. I blowed up real good. But I am seriously, genuinely curious, because I've not reached out. I've not pursued any jobs while I'm still working on the Lost in Space game. But my theory is that a vast majority, okay, I'm going to say anywhere from 60 to 80% of a lot of the LA work has now migrated to other parts of the continent or other parts of the world. And I'm just kind of curious if, you know, unless you don't want to comment, I get that. There are no VFX jobs in film or TV. That's a blanket statement. All right, wait, so, yikes. So something happened here. Are you just being funny, Jeff? Or is that like, seriously, you know, this is the kind of situation we're in now with, okay, this totally broke my layout. Default. My layout. Okay, sweet. I still got my layouts there. No, it is bleak. Okay, yeah. Couldn't open file from, okay. So, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. You know, it's, ugh. You know, I knew it would. Thank you. That's all right. And what happens if we do this? Fingers crossed. Here's the big. Wait. Blue is good. Means it's doing something. That means it's loading. Did we do it? Virgil Brigman is back on the air? Did this actually work? Holy crap, guys. I honestly did not think I was going to bring this back to life. Okay. Let me try and expand the window here if I can. Welcome back. Right back where we started from. Let's see. Did that. Now I gotta like resize it because I just butchered my sizing. Is that? Yeah, that's about right. All right. Wow. All right, so then let's just jump in and see what this looks like. I think. Okay, so combine. Gripping claw. Yeah, okay, so we did lose that stuff. So now the question mark is how much did I actually lose, but who cares? I'm just thankful that I was able to restore it. Anyone that's had one of those stories, I just had my Toy Story 2 moment there, right? Please, God's sakes, tell me somebody illegally copied all the data and took it home and just happened to accidentally take it to their house and can restore all the data. Tell me you did not lose the entire film production. I've heard stories about that, of disgruntled IT guys that have just nuked massive amounts of stuff. All right, so let's go back in our scriptable objects, Aftermath, and we still got 25 minutes to almost restore some of the stuff that we lost. Oops. Yeah. Gripping claw. Yeah, so we lost all that stuff. Do you know the stories about TDRL? No, but I think you're about to tell me. TDRL. The diabolical Reggie Lenosky? No, that's not it. I don't even know what TDRL is. Or if I do, I've just consumed too much diet drink. Oh, Threshold Digital. Oh, right. Threshold, as it was migrating over to, I guess that was like around the same time as Netter and Foundation, right? They were all kind of in an incestual stab each other in the back kind of thing, right? Back in the golden days. That kind of stuff, yep. Hard drive fiasco. So they just had a meltdown without a backup? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Nice juicy story like that? Alright, so I never did get to upload it, so it's not going to be there. Excuse me. So let's just duplicate this. I said it was unwired. Hey, I remembered. So remember this thing that I did an hour and a half ago? They went for a walk one day, as in there used to be a hard drive in this computer and it's not there anymore, kind of on a walk. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, so then this is going to become 6. Excuse me. Wow, every single one. That's a lot of drives. What was that like a... You know what? I mean, I'd heard the general stories about it, but I never knew the specific details. But, I mean, that's an accomplishment. Because, I mean, unless it was like, in a render farm where they're easily accessible. But, I mean, if that was one of those things that was in individual machines... I just can't imagine the time it took. I mean, it had to be like a nighttime sneak in, no one around, something like that, right? Excuse me. Let's see. Let's go back to our 1920 1080. That's a little bit better. Over a whole weekend. Okay. Okay. But I'd still be paranoid. I mean, if I was the terrible individual doing this kind of thing, I would be so terrified that someone's going to walk in on this. Wow. All right, so now let's go back and do what we did before. So spreadsheet. All right. So you showed up to money to insanity. All right, so I did back up the spreadsheet earlier today, so I'm going to hit export merge, and I'm not going to touch anything this time. Okay, this is what I did last time, and then I was like, oh, in the meantime, I might as well go into something else, and that's when it just absolutely went crazy. So it's uploading the spreadsheet. So I touched nothing. There, okay, spreadsheet came up. That's a bit better. Okay. All right, so now we can go back and start messing with stuff confidently and know that we're not going to lose the project again. Yeah, that must have been absolute terrifying. I couldn't even imagine just kind of going, yeah, drive's missing. Which one? All of them? I mean, oh, God. So, I mean, there's obviously specifics to that. I mean, was it a disgruntled employee? Was it someone that was just going, I'm going to steal this stuff and set up shop somewhere else? I mean, we saw that. I had that experience in one of the houses I was working at where a couple of the founders just one day were not there. And it's like, where are they? And it's like, oh, they just left in the middle of the night and took some clients with them. So, I mean, that was pretty common, but I don't know if that's what that example was as well, or if it was something else, but oh, you never found out the details? Oh, man. Come on. You just teased me with this amazing detailed story of the Nightmare VFX from Hell story, and then it's like, what happened next? Don't know. I could tell you, but you have to like purchase the subscription service before you can watch the full story play out. Thanks. Oh, man. Left me hanging. All right, I guess I'll have to call some of my other VFX buddies and find out if someone that was higher up the food chain. They tell me more stories. Let's see. We're in Aftermath. I'll have to take out a loan, man. Those things are no longer as cheap as they used to be. I've resorted to like getting combos without the drink just to save a little extra money, you know? I'm frugal. I'm, all the money goes into the game as much as possible. Yeah, that makes me think maybe I gotta get a Raising Cane's. I haven't had one lately. Oh, they did. Raising Cane's made it to LA. Or Valley. For those that don't know California, to Northridge, I was about to say, yeah, that's not LA. That's like the old movie Swingers. Did you get her number? Yeah. 818? No, 310. Nice. That was just that was such a fantastic joke that only LA people would get, right? Yeah. That was so inside. But so true. That's awesome, man. You got yourself a Raising Cane. That's cool. There's like another chicken tender place that is spreading. They're mostly East Coast and like Midwest, but I think it's starting to migrate over here too. So, yeah, can always use more competition. Can never get enough battered and fried chicken, That's life right there. All right, so I keep going to dialogue. Let me focus here for a second. Let's make this work correctly. So that's gripping clause. So now we need to add unwired again. So we'll say, yeah. So, one sec. Oh, my phone's misbehaving. There you go. Gotta run away. Jeff, good luck with the vampire hours. You owe me some detailed offline catching up so I can hear what's going on in the world of La La Land. But yeah, buddy, great to hear from you. Yeah, have yourself a great day, night, whatever it's gonna be, and I look forward to hearing the details. But until then, great to hear from you, buddy. Hope to talk to you soon. My good friend Jeffrey Mark, one of my groomsmen back in the day, all those decades ago. Yes, you as well, buddy. You as well. We'll catch up soon, I hope. All right. So, without his distractions, maybe I can focus a little bit. All right, let's add the stuff that I just added a while back, shall we? So it's Aftermath item, and it's Gripping Claw Unwired. Now I can remember all this stuff. It's easier to do the second time, because you remember it the first time. But I'm definitely have a deja vu kind of moment here. Hey, what's all this yellow? Oh no, we covered that an hour and a half ago. Never mind. Gripping Claw Unwired. I gotta rebuild. No, I had that. I just gotta rename the icon and then reattach it, and then we're good. So that's cool. Yeah, and then I have to remember my wording from before. Think I'm gonna get close? Aftermath item description, like so. 2 P's Gripping Claw Unwired. So we have the object name and then the description of what the object is. That's why I'm having to do this kind of twice. Aftermath item description, Gripping Claw Unwired. Just make sure I got it right, because it's a pain in the butt to remove and clean up afterwards. So it's good to have it correct the first time. Oh, so this is the description. So we say, maybe I should add a little more to it. It should, to grab. So I'm thinking about changing what I did before. Whereas before I was saying, I'm not sure if I wired it correctly. I think I'll just leave it as is. I can use it to grab higher items, so it kind of thinks like you're okay. I use it. Should I be detailed and say if I... No, you know what? I'm going to just keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS, right? Always keep it simple, stupid. I can use it to grab higher items, because what will happen is you try and use it and immediately say that, oh, hey, looks like I got the wiring wrong. Let me fix the wiring. So this is actually the smarter move. So that crash, that whatever it was actually kind of a good thing, because it made me do this in a better explanation there. Okay. So let's, if you remember, we went back here. It seems like just yesterday or 90 minutes ago. We went into GUI, images for Atlas, icons, Aftermath, and we renamed this to Unwired. And then we added it to the GUI. Yes, gripping claw, correct. All right. And then we come back to Aftermath and we go into crafting recipes, and we need to modify this so it is no longer gripping claw. It is now gripping claw unwired. Control S that puppy. Now maybe this is correct. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so that's not correct. I went to the gripping claw. So why did I do that? It should be the gripping claw unwired. Unless, oh, because, oh, my fault. Because I did not update this, did I? I did forget one thing. So from items. Uh-oh. Did I put it under item? Oh, I did it twice. I broke that. All right. I'm going to fix that right now. I'm hesitant to rename the other ones just because I don't know how much that would break. So rename. This I know I can do with no problem. Items. Use. Okay. So let's go back up here. Scriptable objects. Try this again. Inventory. Gripping claw unwired. Yeah, that always scares me when you see the thing empty like that. I'm just worried about the data, the whole spreadsheet kind of shifting, you know, like a value not connecting and just everything getting out of sync. That's the one thing about doing this, just terrifies me, because if it's all broken, then it's just the amount of cleanup. I had to do that once when we got really badly out of line when we were first using the tool and we didn't quite have a full understanding of how to use it and how not to use it. So now we come down here, items, and it's still not there. Okay. Did I fix the wrong one? Aftermath item, gripping claw. Oh, I did. Okay, I fixed the... Oh, shoot. The gripping claw now... Okay, well, here's hoping that that doesn't break anything, because I already modified that one. Items. Use. Okay. One more time. Aftermath. Items. And it's still not there? Okay, now I'm really scared. Aftermath. Items. Okay, that's item description. All right, so did I have a typo or just totally broke it or what? Because now I'm not even seeing it. I have to thumb through here. Okay, battery pack, gripping pull. But it's like I said use, but it's like it deleted it. I'm not crazy, right? You saw that. Unless it went to item. No. That's just that one. All right. You know what? Let's just create a new one and hope that we're not screwing up. Don't know what else to do. I mean, it's doing something weird. So items plural. Gripping pull unwired. Aftermath items gripping pull unwired. Done. And then we should already have the description. I thought I saw that. So we have that. Okay. I'm still scared that I broke something in the spreadsheet, but I guess we'll find out. Good start. Aftermath description. All right. taken 2 hours just to do this one task, minus the giant collapse there. All right, so let's go maximize. I'm feeling confident, which means I'm doomed. So we use combine. We combine the pole and the claw, and we get there. And then I can't reach from here thing. We know that's already a mistake. Excuse me. So I'm going to fix that because that's just driving me nuts. So we're going to tell you what we do. First, we will now take our newly updated database. Excuse me. And we're going to export merge. And once again, touch nothing. This is when I broke the project before. So you see, this is me. If it breaks itself now, that's not my fault. I'm touching nothing. Okay. So now we're going to go into general. And let me find out where the correct text was. Yeah. So we go. You created. Oh, wait a second. That's bizarre. So it's shows that it's correct now. What? Huh. Okay. I don't know how that would have worked, but let's try. Oh, because... Nope, that's still wrong. Okay. So let's try this then. If we say spreadsheet, import merge, and maybe that'll correct the error that I have. Otherwise, I have no idea. There it is. Cool. All right. Yeah, in early days we were doing exports and imports, and that was really bad. But if load and save, but if you use merge, then everything corrects itself over time. So I should have faith that that was going to happen. We did it. See, wasn't it easy? All right, and then I still got to go back to what was the project. It magically gets this texture. I love that. I don't mind seeing the light blue. Light blue means that it's loading the image on the fly. That's fine. It's when you see that nasty hueish pinkish color. That's when you know you're in trouble. That something absolutely broke. I am getting an error. All right. Am I missing an attachment or something? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Task assets. And that fixes that, so we have no bug. Man. Yeah. My buddy Rich has done a beautiful job of just like letting you know where the mistakes are, and you know, now that I'm finally learning his system, it's pretty elegant. Pretty nice. Okay. So then let's go back to our giant laundry list. And we'll say oh, I'm looking for Visual Studio, and it's not up because it closed. Let me just do this. Not variables. Where is that one? There we go. Let's see. Oops. I just glanced at the Instagram one. Looks like it froze. It says live, but that looks like a very stationary image. So, yeah, I'm not sure which ones I'm still actually streaming on. Let's see. How about YouTube? Nope. That one's okay. But the Instagram looks like it went bye-bye. So, sorry to anyone that was watching on Instagram. Don't know if I think Twitter maybe still be behaving. The joys of multi-streaming, I guess. Okay. But I digress. So what we want is, let's see, do I have it? No, I have nothing loaded right now. So let's go into use. Man, I really want this screen to be larger. Do Aftermath, script search, and it's use item. All right, so then specifically what I want to do, I'm going to just, I think I'll get to this point and then call it a breaking point. So not gripping pole, bucket, can't reach. You know, I guess I could reach for bucket. I could recycle. That's actually not a bad idea. Rather than make a cutscene for the hand, the crowbar, the pole, or the gripping claw, just make it as one cutscene reaching for the bucket, and then I can just do a search on what item you're currently making use of, and that will save me a little bit of a headache. I like that. Consolidates it nicely. Okay. But let's see. So if you're using reach for bucket, yeah. So what here is gripping claw. Break. I will do a cutscene here. Use gripping claw unwired. So let's do this. Copy this guy. We're going to read gripping pole. We're going to rename all this to gripping claw. Or I could. You know what? Maybe I don't even need to do this. Maybe I could just put everything. And just gotta remember what item I'm trying to do that with. So the use item. I think I can send the item name. That'd probably be the simplest way. Okay, so see, yeah. So if it's bucket. All right, now we're getting there. Oops. Oh, I got it backwards. Switch, case bucket. All right, why are you not happy now? ¿Por qué? Oh, because there's no break. You're tricking me. You're acting like that's an issue, and it's not. It's the fact that the break was missing. Okay. So, start cutscene, reach for bucket. And then what we'll do here is we'll just send the item. Excuse me. Item name. Yes. Item name. Oh shoot, I don't know if I can actually send something to play cutscene. Oh, crud. He might have this hard-coded where it can not receive. Nope. Okay, we're going to have to make a change on that. Because there'll be times where we want to feed something to it. I mean, I could do it this way. I can say scene variable. Yeah. Or I could just do a whole different. I don't want to do a whole different cutscene. That seems like overkill because it's all in the same position, anyways. Yeah, sorry, just thinking out loud. All right, so yeah, let's just add a scene variable. Get set. Okay. I'm just going to copy paste this because the get set stuff is over my head. Oh, it's not a bool though. It's a string. Or it might be able to just, you know what? It's probably under the game controller. Before I start doing that, let me just check to see if there's get. Let's see. Okay, but that's while you're in inventory, not. All right. Let me see how I'm feeding this in the first place. How about that? Use item. Handle. Okay. All right, I'll have to ask Rich, my programmer, specifically how I can get easy access to whatever item is being held. Because there's no reason to add a bunch of code. So yeah, let me make a note of that. Yeah, what did I do there? Just a quick note here. So. All right, made a note there. So I guess what I'll do is just reach for bucket. I wish there's some way to fly. I guess I'll just, for the time being, yeah, use. I just want use item. Fun component. Okay, so that doesn't actually retrieve it. That's setting it. Yeah. All I want is a string. Public string and held item. Yep, we'll do it that way because I am not smart enough to know how it works otherwise. Is that all table? I guess it is. Oh, but power core scene. Oh shoot, that's working off of a key. That's not working off of a fed value. So this isn't going to help me anyways. All right, you know what? I'm just going to do this ugly. No, that does work because it's okay. Where's that? That's how he's doing it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do this ugly. Held item. Oh, how? No, I got it better. Held item name. Okay. You know, actually, what am I doing? No, it's just held item, isn't it? There. I'm overcomplicating it because I'm not going to do it the proper way. I'm going to do it the improper way because this is just temporary. Let's see. So how do I get game variables? Oh, scene variables. Really? There it is. And it's not there. Really? You don't want to give me access? Oh, wait. What was I looking at? What did I just put that in? After my scene variable. Oh, cutscene variable. Oh, okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Scene variables. Try that again. After my scene variables. And it's still not let me have access. It's public string, so it should be accessible. It's private. Public string. Don't understand why it's not legit. Nope. Okay, and let's make sure that's not just because it's... Nope, that's not it either. Okay. Okay. So obviously I have no idea how to access it. Any examples? No, just me. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe that's it. Okay. No. All right, now I'm getting frustrated. There I was overthinking the crap out of all that. Okay. So, held item equals there. Reach for bucket. All right, so cutscene base. Okay, and then where's... Okay, there's on run. So here, say, so if variables held item equals, then we know that we can't use it yet. So we need to, yeah, 2 of those might help. There it goes. So that we know we need to kick off the cutscene that we're, oh, but we're kind of like in a cutscene. Oh, but it's a puzzle. So we're good. So we just do it this way. Making video games is so easy. All right, and then I would put something nice in there to... Oh, really? Interpuzzle. Oh, maybe it wants a game controller in front of it. There, it's happy now. Now we're closer. All right. So if that's the case, do that. Otherwise, do that. Unwired. All right. I'll be happy if this works, and I'll stop down. Yeah, I'm not sure why the... Okay, I'll stop looking. I was just trying to figure out why the Instagrams bit the dust. Okay. But it did work, at least initially. So that's a start, I guess. So let's make this full screen. And fingers crossed this actually behaves. So if we're correct, we combine those. We make a gripping pole unwired. And then if we try and come over here and use it on this pole, on the, not on the bucket, and absolutely nothing happens. Ah, crap. So much for first try. Okay, when in doubt, find out what the heck it actually is. Whoa. I have no debug log in use item. Oh. Okay, fine. We'll go dirty with this one instead. Using okay. So let's figure out if that's the problem. We'll take this out of maximize. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter because it'll be on the screen, so I'd leave it in maximize. What the heck? So once again, combine those two items. Gripping claw. Oh! Interesting. So combining it added the wrong item. Oh, I got bigger problems then. If it's because it should have added the gripping claw unwired. So unless it's wrong here. No, that's... Oh, my mistake. Found it. I didn't update the scripting name. My fault. Gripping pole unwired. That's correct. There it is. So when you try and use the unwired gripping pole, it'll have some little animation in there where he's trying to use it and like the claw like flops over. He's like, oh, the wires aren't correct. So, shoot, I don't remember the puzzle now. I don't remember the solution. Cool. Okay, so, oh, it is just still the 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? And I gotta improve this puzzle. My wife played it and she got really frustrated because she wanted to go over to these, which makes sense. So let's see. So blue is the second one, so he'll go there. Red is the first one. Orange. Green goes here. Yellow goes there. Oh, nope. There it is. And now I have the gripping claw, which is still showing the icon that has the wire separated, but now if I use it, oh shoot, okay, yeah, that's exactly right. So the puzzle is just playing the puzzle, but it's not actually updating the item from unwired to the wired. So I can do that. But the key thing is I restored my project. I got most of that stuff dialed in correctly now. So I am now at the point where I was in almost 2 hours ago. Okay, that's enough pain and suffering, I think, on camera for today. Yeah, because we're way over my usual time, 4:20, and Penny definitely wants her playtime in the backyard. So I will do the traditional Penny farewell, so she gets her camera time because she's a diva. She wants to be on there. But before I do that, let me say thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Jeff, my old buddy, thanks for coming around. A couple of new faces. Matias came by, and I'm sorry my Spanish is muy malo. Jean, thank you for coming by and saying hello, sup. And then, of course, we had Edit in there earlier. And for everyone else lurking, thanks for hanging out. You know, there's... According to the little thing, it's 14 people hanging in there right now. So I appreciate you guys spending some time with me. I do this 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. I'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully without any more project crashes because that was devastating. But yeah, obviously subscribe if you want more information and that kind of stuff. If you want to find out more about the game, lostinspacegame.com. Or if you want to check out more details, you can, you can find on lostinspacegame.com, you can find links to pretty much everywhere, especially like Discord. That's the place where we're most active. But I think that'll do it. All right, guys, you have yourselves a nice night, and let me have the big cameo moment. I'm sure there's a doggy here. Here he goes. Oh, jeez. Yep, there she is. Yeah. Come here. Yeah. Oh, she's already got a toy. There you go. All right. There's the penny. There's the penny cameo. Lucini. All right. Well, I was just signing off, but yeah. Well, you can go back and watch. I broke the project and had to restore, so about 75% of it was just me chatting. Even without you here, I still end up doing a lot of chatting. But yeah, Lucini, you're just in time to say adios. But glad you're starting to watch Three Body Problem. We could talk about it next stream. You can tell me your thoughts. Already up to number 5. Wow. All right, but that's it. I am definitely past my normal time, and I have other stuff I got to jump on to tonight, including keeping Penny happy. So yes, Lucini, adios. Okay. Good night, everyone. Have yourselves a good day, night, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. And hope to see you tomorrow, same place, from 2 to 4 Pacific time. That's my time. You can do that.